was the end of October 2025 and I was up in the very early hours of the morning to take the first train off Airdrie. I was heading south down to Carlisle to take the Settle Carlisle line. I was looking to visit Horton and Ribblesdale, where I'd last been walking down there in 2015 when I did Ingleborough. And I'd always said I'd come back and do Pen-y-ghent, and I'd kind of forgotten all about it until a recent trip down to Doncaster where I passed through and I seen the hill and thought, I really need to get back there. So after a number of hours on the train, I got off and headed down into the village. I made my way down and over the river Ribble and up into the hills where I would start my walk. So today I am in the Yorkshire Dales. Busy roads here. The first part of the walk today is mainly on the road. Hopefully it's a bit quieter than this. This seems to be the main road and I'm going to branch off just up on the left. Okay, the weather forecast for today is to be showers. At the moment it's nice and clear. I can actually see the top of the hill. The weather in Airdrie when I left was absolutely abysmal. But the forecast for here was not too bad, so I thought I'll jump on the train, see how it goes. And it seems to be alright, so I'm going to crack on. We have a detailed map of the area here. I'm going to be going via Horton Scar Lane. I'm looking for something called Hull Pot, which is quite an interesting geographical feature. And then I may come back via the Three Peaks route, which gives me a nice circular walk. Okay, here we go. So the track that I'm following is actually a bridleway. I thought it was a minor road, which is what happens when you don't wear your glasses when you're looking at the map. So there is some traffic on it, but it seems to be farm vehicles, quad bikes and the like. It must have been tipping it down here because it is really, really wet. I've got the drone with me, but I don't know if I'm going to get the drone up, as it is fairly windy up here. I think if it came down yesterday, I'd had some really good conditions, but unfortunately I was busy all day preparing for Halloween. And just to keep a bit of weight down, I ditched the big camera as well. So, because I'm carrying the drone. So no fancy photography today, just what I can get on my phone. Which is a pity because Really nice conditions. Well, left of the path here we have Horton Scar, which is shown on the map. An exposed chunk of limestone that runs along the hill. Oh, lovely waterfall. That's Pen-y-ghent is up there, and that's a path that we're going to take. But we're going to do a little detour off to Hullport, which is over there. So there's two paths leading vaguely in the same direction, but diverging slightly. I will always pick the wrong one. This is Hullport, I believe. Apparently the stream ran underground, and at one point the erosion caused it to wear away the top, the ground level, which all collapsed, forming this hole. So apparently when it's heavy rain, that burn then becomes active. At the moment there's nothing there. And it looks like down there is someone's walking pole. Hopefully they're not down there with it. Impressive little gorge. That was Hullport. I'm now going to head back over onto the main path and pick up the route up to Pen-y-ghent. I think we're now on open access land, which is similar to what we have in Scotland, where you have the right to roam, or as some nitpickers want to call it, the right of responsible access. So there's a path. I'm supposed to go across there and then up, but there is a slight path going over the hill which probably cuts off a little bit of the journey and should pick up the path on the other side. Tempted to do that, but I don't know the fence layout, so I will head back to my original start point here at the signpost, and then make my way up the path. And the sign back there says footpath only, no bikes and no horses. Quite how that is open access, I don't know. There's a bit of a rain shower there, as forecast. Short rain showers in, out. Hopefully nothing lingering for too long. It would be nice to get a view from up here, because when I did Ingleborough I got no view at all. It was dreich. From this angle, the Ingleborough looks very similar to the Campsie Fells. It's just got that same kind of effect with there's a rock sticking out and the long sweep with the green coming down. So that's the path up ahead. It really is quite a well laid path. So we go up, hit that ridge and then turn right. Okay, so that's a good path. Now coming to an end, and we're now onto this more traditional path. Over in the distance you can see Ingleborough, and down below, just off to the right of the centre of the picture, you should be able to see Hull Pot, that big hole in the ground. So we now skirt up the edge, the flank of this hill, before coming onto the ridge where it should become a bit more exposed and lead up to the top. Here's a wee present from the dog ship ferry. Take your rubbish home and take your dog crap with you. The current wind speed was 67 miles an hour. Can barely stand up. Oh, we're in the last section now. The wind is just about, it was just hitting 70 miles an hour. It was 69 miles an hour down there. I'm going to be coming up onto the top. This part of the path is now a large set of steps. And hard work. There's one dry bit, so I'll sit there. That was absolutely brutal. That wind was horrendous. It's took me 2 hours to get here, just over 2 hours. So I'll grab a quick bite to eat and then I'll head back down. Depending on how strong the wind is over there, I may go back the way I came, but I'll have a check of the map and see what it looks like. Well, that was wild. Almost 70 miles an hour wind on the top. Even coming off the side there, it was gusting about 50 miles an hour. Really difficult to keep on your feet. So I've just got the last stretch now, which is back into Horton and Ribblesdale, and with a bit of luck I'll catch an earlier train, which will give me a bit of time, get me home earlier, might give me a bit of time in Carlisle. Otherwise I'll be home earlier if I can catch it, so fingers crossed. That's me back on the road. Almost back at the village as well. But the road is a bit twisty. I've got about half an hour to get to the train station if I want to catch the train, the early one. Otherwise, I'm going to the pub. Oh, my knees are nipping. I think the pub might win. Looks like the pub missed out. I've made it back to the station just in time, so all in all, 4.5 hours for the round trip, including photos, drone footage and all sorts of things. So the train's due in around 10 minutes. Not long to wait. A nice rainbow to end off the day. The rain's been quite kind. It's hung off long enough. I'll put the stats on for the length of the walk and what have you. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you in my next video.